Hello dear viewers and welcome back to the channel. It's time for yet another episode of Fire Force. Saturdays to me are always one of the best because I get two awesome action series in a single day. Anyways, last episode, right? Where we left off, really we just got to know a little bit more of the infighting that was described by the captain, how all the aid companies of the special fire force really have each their own agendas, and they have their respective sponsors, and they're all off doing their own thing, right? It's definitely not a centralized force or organization. Now, however, whether this is actually, it's actually malicious in a way, or if it's just a case of having different priorities and goals, not quite sure there yet. Of course, this being a typical shonen, it could really well go the way of, beating all the bad guys up and converting them through the power of love and friendship or something like that. But we'll see, right? Personally, what I'm really looking forward to is to learn a little bit more on how the religious entity in this series is affecting the series. The Holy Soul Temple, I believe it's called, right? Like, we've seen the sister act all, mysterious and stuff throughout 4 episodes now. It wouldn't hurt to give us a little bit more info in regards to this. So hopefully we can get that soon. But yeah, otherwise maybe we'll just be going through another Monster of the Week episode, maybe. Anyways, let's just find out together. Alrighty, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. This skull that they're using is really kind of funny. By the way, like, this style, it really gives off a Madoka Magica vibe, and it's been done throughout all the episodes so far, and I definitely feel like it's because of the director. Oh, are we actually going to get some more backstory on the sister? They're just teasing us, aren't they? Oh no! Okay. This is from the ending. I really love this entire, Amen thing they're doing. What's it called? La Tome? Something like that? Alright. Bunch of nuns. Wow, what is with your eye? Wait! Is that the captain of the 5th? I kinda already forgot what she looks like, but she also had those crazy eyes, right? Yeah, it probably is her. Because she reacted specifically when she saw her last episode. Okay. Hey, son. He's nervous. No, you haven't risen your familiarity level up enough yet, my little boy. Alright, that's the opening. See you guys in a second. Okay. Balance training.
の目的はホムラ人の鎮魂と国民の安全を守ること。しかし第8の裏の目的である怪しい特殊消防隊の調査や彼らに対抗する手段も頭に置いておかなければならない。王尾大大将が言われた通り、キャップが消えてまるで話が入ってこない。おのれグリフォンめ、また我が城に攻めてきよってエクスカリバーのサビにしてやろう。お前は
I'm guessing they. Nobody's listening to him.
そういうマキさんも結構デンジャラスだからな。
I mean, shouldn't this be something you maybe tell them about or something before you recruit them? Or I guess they brutally investigated him already, right? Nah, that's not a real bullet. Oh, is that his special ability? Right, somebody told me this before. The second generation controls fire, and third generation can make fire themselves. Yeah, are... Okay, never mind. He's an idiot. Right. The fifth is Hajima affiliating. This is really the best way to go about things. So again, she used to be a nun, and now she's like completely twisted and what. Whoa. Okay. Now, like, I'm just saying, the public already doesn't trust the Special Fire Force that much. If they know that the 8 companies are actually infighting amongst themselves, wouldn't that just further decrease the public trust? So there's 8 people there, and then below there it seems that there's also 8 Infernos. The battle began. Between the fire force companies? Mason. Okay. Why? They're really going for this all-out battle between the companies? This is ridiculous. Oh wow. I mean, I guess theoretically, since there's not exactly one central organization, nobody's saying they can't fight among themselves. I guess that's true. And I guess the public wouldn't really have to know as well. What, are all these fifth guys like cannon fodder? Okay. See, like, she's from the military, so why aren't they concerned that maybe she would be more, uh, like, have more connection with the military-backed groups? I believe, like, the 4th? Or is it the 1st? I think the 1st is with the temple, the 4th is with the military. Okay, some actual fire users? Yeah. I guess he has a limited vocabulary. Okay. Oh, can he bend bullets? Aw, damn! Wow, ricochet control? Holy shit! Okay, that is one cool ability. Dang. Now it's you three. Well, they certainly found a way to tame Infernals in a certain way. That's quite interesting. Okay. And Shinra's gonna burst up onto this scene, right? Okay, so what's our first deal?
の問題ではない。わしのホムラ人の火力が強すぎるのじゃ。いるんだよな。もともと何もできねえくせに。調子が悪いだろ。何かのせいにして。
Yeah, why is he being weird right now? Yeah, what's with Arthur right now? Wait, what? Why was he holding it in his left anyways? Just like that. He really is an idiot. Really? Seriously? Oh my god. Okay. Okay, yeah, Shinra's the one off to fight the boss, the princess. Alright. Okay, so that's episode 5 in the bag, and I gotta say, I definitely did not expect them to start infighting within themselves this early on. I thought we were gonna have a few more weeks of, you know, going against the normal infernos and whatnot, and then gradually, maybe getting more and more suspicious of the fifth or whatnot, and then maybe accumulating into one final confrontation or something like that. I definitely did not expect them to just go busting into the fifth this early on. And like I said, it's just so, I don't know, it's just so funny to me that, you know, these people who are tasked with, you know, defending the public and whatnot, taking care of the infernal threat, are able to just go at each other like this. Like, say for instance, imagine if the New York Police Department and Chicago Police Department had these daily bouts and they would send SWAT teams to raid each other's facilities, right? Or say for instance, like, I don't know, the Los Angeles Police Department versus the San Francisco Police Department, and then they would normally have their spats as well. They'd be like, hey, this is my turf, get off my turf, get out of my jurisdiction, and stuff like that. And then they would actually, you know, fight, you know, actually fight each other over it. Like, I don't know, that just seems so, like, how is the general public supposed to trust you to uphold law and order if you already fight amongst yourself, right? That, I don't know, that thing's just so ridiculous to me. I guess I mean, in the grand context of things, this is the setting that the work has chosen to go for, right? And I'm sure that there's some kind of reason that it's set up this way, right? Because, you know, I was originally quite confused as to why these 8 were not under one kind of central organization, especially considering that, as we know it, right now, the political situation is it's called the Tokyo Empire, right? So it's under imperial rule. So, you know, they could absolutely just set up a special, you know, department or whatnot in order to handle these kinds of matters, and then they would all, you know, all the companies below it would report to one central organizing command or something like that. And definitely that would probably heavily discourage infighting amongst themselves. So there definitely has to be a reason why it's set up this way, and probably coming from the highest level of decision making as well. So looking forward to eventually getting around to explaining that part as well. And, speaking of, these high authority and whatnot, I guess we can also use this to segue into the princess's situation, right? So, as it turns out, the princess was also formerly a sister at the nunnery that Iris was at. Actually, I should probably already know that, judging from the ending. Sorry, I overlooked it. But anyways, that is that, so they knew of each other before, and judging from the parts that we've seen so far, it seems that Iris really does consider the princess to be, one of her big sister that she looks up to, right? So through some kind of event or whatnot, they definitely diverted on different paths. Now, in the princess's situation, I'm just thinking perhaps this is a case of maybe her learning about the truth, if you will, of the Holy Soul Temple, the Holy Soul Church, and learning how maybe all of it is a lie, it's a sham, and so being completely let down by the church, she decides to go for a more extremist route, something like that, and investigate or the situation for herself, yada yada. And I can definitely see that happening as well, right? So say, for instance, just throwing some things out there, maybe the overall god, or I don't know, like the soul god or whatever they're calling it, is actually a devil, right? Is actually an infernal. Or perhaps he was the one who created the infernals, and that is what's causing all these problems in the first place, right? So I can definitely see these kinds of things also happening as well. And I am glad that we got to see a little bit more in regards to the church within this episode, because like I said, that's basically been my number one thing that I want to learn more about as we're in episode 5 of the series so far. So nice to know a little bit more about this, but I'm guessing that we'll probably need to learn more from next episode when Shinra eventually confronts the princess, and maybe having her typical villainous monologue, she'll start spewing more information, I guess. So yeah, that's that. What else to talk about for this episode? Oh, I definitely did like the lieutenant's abilities in particular. That was completely awesome, right? Using firearms and then changing trajectories and whatnot, so that he can basically do like seeking or homing bullets, those kind of things. Like, that was awesome. Although, definitely this brings up another question that I've had, actually from a few episodes back, right? Because we know that the second generation fire soldiers are able to manipulate fire, whilst the third generation fire soldiers are able to create fire themselves. However, we've also seen that the second generation can actually manipulate fire generated by the third generation to a certain extent. Now, I'm wondering, like, where exactly is the threshold where a second generation would not be able to control the flames of another fire user anymore, right? Because that obviously would have lots of consequences in regards to the upcoming battles and whatnot, right? Otherwise, it seems that the second generation would have a sort of advantage, if you will, since they are able to freely manipulate flames. But obviously, they can't always manipulate the flames of the third generation. Since they're the third generation, they should have some advantages of their own, right? So that's something I'm also looking forward to seeing what exactly the threshold or the limit is in the end. Now, Arthur, well, I don't even know what to say, right? Seriously, a change of hand. Oh my god. Like, he is an idiot. Fine. Let's leave it at that. Alright. And, well, yeah, I guess that about covers this episode. We'll wait for next episode to see Shinra probably get into the fight with the princess. We'll be getting some good action again. Probably melee as well. And then, well, we'll see what happens from there, right? So, that's been my review for episode 5 of Fire Force. I will see you guys next week. Until then, bye-bye.